Hey, how's it going, everyone? Saintsfan back again with another GTA 5 video, and today we're doing another Q&A. You guys asked me some questions on Twitter, and I'm here to give you guys my answers and opinions. If you want to ask your own question, then just go on Twitter and tweet anything with the hashtag AskSaints. First question is not GTA related, but from Oliver goes, when do you think we will hear something else about Red Dead Redemption 2? Dude, I know, right? I think a few days ago it was the 6-month anniversary from when they released the trailer, and we haven't gotten a single thing from Rockstar since then. But that's kind of what they do. They put out, you know, a trailer, and then they wait a super long time before they give out any other information. Like GTA 5, I don't know if you guys remember this, but there was a 1-year wait between GTA 5's first trailer and then the next bit of information or the next trailer. So this is just what Rockstar does. I think we'll see something hopefully around E3, maybe not at E3 because Rockstar don't really attend those, but maybe sometime either before it or after it in some sort of newswire or some sort of event. They might even tease it out like they did last time, you know, on Twitter or something. Like they might use social media, but I'm gonna assume sometime around then because that's sort of when everyone gets hyped for the upcoming games. Mad Zingo, speaking of the Tiny Racers DLC coming out tomorrow, he says, do you think the Tiny Racers Adversary mode has potential to be the best adversary mode in GTA Online? I will say that it looks super fun from the trailer, and it is funny, like speaking of trailers, that Rockstar made a trailer and they actually released it a week before the DLC, or before this adversary mode came out. When for like major DLCs, I want to say the import-export DLC was one of them, and I know a few other ones, it happened, they don't release the trailer until the DLC's already out. So it is kind of funny how it almost looks like they care more about these adversary modes than they do the actual big DLCs they work on. But I think it is going to be really fun, especially if you play with friends. It should hold most people off, I think. Not if you're playing it like every day, but you know, every other day or so you're playing with friends until the gun running DLC comes out. I think this is probably the best case scenario, because if they were to release, you know, some other bad adversary mode, then that would be worse for people, because then you would have like nothing to really play for the next month and a half-ish until the gun running. But I think this one is going to be really fun. We'll have to wait and see though until it comes, or when it comes out tomorrow. And then speaking of that, because I've gotten this one so much, I don't know what people are thinking here, but Bill here says, do you think the new update will include any new cars? So look, I'm not going to say 100% no, because it's Rockstar we're dealing with, but I wouldn't even be sure we're getting an actual update. I think it's just going to be an adversary mode that they like flip the switch on and it pops up in online. I don't think we're going to be receiving some sort of downloadable update where you have to actually download something, unless if they're doing it for the PC. I can understand that, to sort of fix all the hackers and the modders and stuff, but I don't think we're going to be getting that. So I don't think we're going to be receiving new cars. Matter of fact, like, I'm almost positive, like I said, I'm not 100% sure because it's Rockstar, but I'm 99.9% sure we're not going to receive any new cars, just because it's an adversary mode, and they haven't. I feel like if they showed the trailer already, they would have shown some cars if they were to release them. Devin, do you think Rockstar is planning DLC or some DLC that hasn't been hinted at whatsoever? So people always ask, you know, what's coming after the gun running? Well, from what I've heard, and now again, this is just rumors, but from what I've heard, Rockstar sort of are done with, like, after the DLC, or after the gun running DLC, they are done with the ideas they had from before the game came out, or like while the game was being worked on. Like they had the import-export stuff, that was an idea from way back in the day. Lowriders, that was an idea from way back in the day. The gun running stuff, all these DLCs were ideas, you know, that they had on their little board when they were first planning GTA Online. And from what I've heard, and I could be, or this could be wrong, but they've sort of crossed out everything on that board. And that does kind of make sense, considering they're probably working on GTA 6. They're in the early stages of that. They're helping out with Red Dead Redemption 2. So with that being the case, if there is going to be another DLC, and I'm almost positive there will be another DLC after the gun running one, it's going to be something that, I don't want to say they have to start from scratch, but it's going to be or I think it'll take them a lot more work than it would have some of the other stuff, because they can just reuse assets from some of the other DLC, or that's what they did. They reuse stuff they added in previous games, or previous DLCs. That's why the VIP and the CEO and the Import Export DLCs were basically, and even the MC DLC were basically carbon copies of the whole VIP system. So I think we'll definitely get something new that hasn't been hinted at whatsoever, but I think it will take a little bit longer just because of all the stuff happening at Rockstar at the moment. Then we have Sammy. How much ask Saints on how much Rockstar is giving money away. How much do you think the gun running DLC will cost? Well, I've already sort of gave my estimation. I think it's going to be, if you want to buy everything, upwards of 50 million to 75 million. But it is kind of funny how you bring that up. Like, Rockstar are giving people all this money for the returning player stuff. So does that mean the next DLC is going to be super expensive? And I don't really think there's a connection between the two. I think what's happening right now is, since GTA is sort of in a low period, a DLC hasn't come out or a good DLC hasn't come out for a while, and then we still have a month and a half until the gun running DLC. I think Rockstar did the returning player stuff as a promotion to sort of get people back in the game, because saying you'll get free millions of dollars potentially, that'll get people to log into the game and potentially play it, even though there's not much going on. I think that's why they released the trailer during that whole time when people were talking about the free millions, because then people were like, oh, free money? I'm going to look into GTA. And then they see this new trailer, which kind of looks really cool. So then they might say, oh, wow, okay, well, maybe I'll hop on to GTA and actually play the game. So I think that's what's happening. I don't think that them giving money away means that the gun running DLC is going to be like freaking super expensive. Like, I don't think it's going to be 100 million plus, but I just think that they're doing this to get people interested and to get people to talk about GTA Online. So it's sort of just like a business decision. Then, Harry, do you think people are overhyping this update, and do you think the vehicles will be released weekly? So I'm going to assume you mean the gun running DLC. Like, do you think people are overhyping it? Because there's been quite a talk, and I mean, I will admit I'm kind of overhyping it for myself a little bit, just because, like, just the amazing ideas and concepts that could be done with this DLC. I think it's never a good thing to overhype anything. So, maybe we shouldn't, as a community, say this is going to be a really awesome DLC, because then our expectations won't be as high, and that means they won't be broken, if the DLC doesn't meet our expectations. But I don't know, I kind of have confidence in Rockstar. Most of the big DLCs that they've put out are really solid. I mean, apart from the MC selling missions, I like that DLC. They had some really cool stuff. Obviously, the CEO, the Import-Export, going back, you got VIP, Lowriders, all these big DLCs that they put the time and effort into, they turn out pretty good. Now, the smaller DLCs, the Adversary modes, we'll not look at those, but the big ones, that's the ones they actually do good on. I mean, apart from the prices, because, I think everyone always complains about the cars and everything costing so much, but that's just how it is, unfortunately. We just gotta roll with it. But I don't know. I kind of have faith in Rockstar. And do I think the vehicles will be released weekly? If there are enough, sure. I mean, they've done that before just to extend the life of the DLC, and I think the next one is gonna be no different. And then the final question from Dominic, the sort of question of the day that you guys can answer in the comment section. Do you think there will be more blacklisted vehicles like the Space Stalker added into GTA Online following the Duke of Death? Well, the Duke of Death was free for most people, so I don't know if Rockstar really added it in GTA Online to make money, because normally, when they add DLC cars, it's all about shark cards and having them make money. With the other blacklisted vehicles, though, I think they could add them to GTA Online and make some money. I mean, I would buy the Space Stalker. I mean, I remember glitching it in online. That was super awesome. And having it to drive around, like, that was really cool. And it was unique. So I totally would like the Space Stalker. And there's some other blacklisted vehicles. Just off the top of my head, I mean, I don't know how this would fit really in online, but the snow vehicles from North Yankton, I mean, it's not... If there was a police DLC, I guess you could add them, because then they're all, or mainly they're all police vehicles. The other ones, the tow truck, I know one of the reasons they took the tow truck out was because when you actually towed a car, and I believe if the car got off the tow, I forget what sort of circumstances this occurred under, but basically it would crash everyone in the lobby's game. It was really weird, and that's why they actually banned the tow trucks from getting into online. Some other ones, I mean, the cargo plane, that's never going to come, unfortunately. That's just too damn big. But yeah, some of the helicopters, like the one with the magnet, I don't know what it's called. And there's some other things that I'm probably not thinking of. But yeah, I would totally like to see those. And I think that's like a good DLC, or like mini DLC to add in between DLCs, because then, you know, I wouldn't want it this way, but you already know Rockstar would release them one per week. But having them in online one per week, I'm fine with that if it gives us something, you know, between DLCs. Like, for instance, after this Tiny Racers DLC, let's just assume that nothing's going to be coming out for the next month and a half, or whenever, or, you know, up until the gun running DLC. If they were to sort of soften that blow and each week release a blacklisted vehicle into online, who wouldn't like that? You know what I mean? Yeah, I definitely would like to. And let me know in the comments, which ones, like which blacklisted vehicles would you most like to see in online. That is it though with the Q&A. Thank you all for watching. Please drop the video a like if you enjoy. Subscribe for these every single Monday, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.